Hey Mama, happy to help. So you're talking about nausea and air tummy. I love that. So bloat or if it's getting distended, like her tummy is getting bigger and it's hard, that's more like what we would call endobelly, which is a more severe case of bloating that goes beyond just discomfort and can actually be painful. So, obviously, you're not going to be putting your 6-year-old child through deep excision surgery to find out if she has endometriosis. But what you can do is help her manage her inflammation, and that will help manage her symptoms and her pain. And so, you can do this by reducing her exposure and intake of inflammatory foods and increasing her exposure and intake of anti inflammatory foods. Also, focusing on a whole variety filled, diverse foods approach, making sure that she's consuming purple foods and blue foods. These have phytonutrients and chemicals in them that are a lot of really good stuff for people that struggle with inflammation or endometriosis in my case, right? So I always recommend, especially with children, work with a nutritionist or dietitian who's used to working with children and who knows quite a bit about inflammation. Something I encourage you to do like right away is to start a food and symptom tracker. Just start writing down the foods she's consuming. Ask her how she's feeling 30 minutes after she eats, a couple hours after she eats, 6 hours, 12 hours after, and just see what she's reporting back to you. And if you start to see trends, that's a red flag that that food could be problematic for her. We also want to consider her exposure to environmental inflammatory factors, so that may require you to change some of her personal care and body products. You also may want to think about what you are cooking your food in, because there are certain types of cooking utensils that are very problematic. Stainless steel and cast iron are your best bets. Also, what is she eating off of and drinking out of? Is it plastic? Because if so, toss it. Even if it says BPA free, it's probably not, and or it has other crap in it. You could also consider a very light but consistent detox practice, just some simple Epsom salt in her bath every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. I find that this helps, especially around when you have an endobelly flare up, so a severe case of bloating. So if she's got a really bad tummy and she's coming up to you and you're poking it and it's like hard and whatever, toss her in the bath, throw some Epsom salt in there, and have her just drink a crap ton of water. And that will help kind of get things flushing out for her in an acute kind of flare up moment. There's also the whole idea that stress can cause inflammation. And so our little kids are thrown into chaotic worlds these days. So start teaching her how to show herself that she's safe.